On the 28th of October 2010, an elite team from science technology website The Register achieved a world first by launching an aircraft constructed entirely from paper at an altitude almost 3 times higher than a commercial airliner flies. At a dizzying 89,591 feet, the Vulture 1 dropped free from the helium balloon that had lifted it high above the mountains of central Spain, and it began its historic glide into the history books. As with all the best British science initiatives, the paper aircraft released into space project, known as Paris, began as a pub conversation, a few pints and a couple of beer mat sketches. Subsequent brainstorming, along with help and advice from Register readers, gave birth to a cunning plan to construct the Vulture 1 from paper straws skinned with bog standard A4 printer paper. As the months progressed, the aircraft gradually began to take shape. The question of who would eventually pilot this groundbreaking vehicle was answered when an American space veteran volunteered for what would perhaps be his most challenging mission. In reality, the Vulture 1 proved less technically challenging than coming up with a reliable method to release the aircraft at the right height. Cue a mechanical system relying on a rubber oxygen tube, some quality garden shed engineering and a length of PVC waste pipe, which, following high-tech testing with a bike pump, was pronounced ready to face the acid test. Kinetics hyperbaric chamber. Here in Farnborough, the mechanism was greased and assembled, ready for boffin Chaz Taylor to subject it to a simulated slow rise to 90,000 feet. A test which hardly makes for scintillating video, as you can see, but which was critical to the success or failure of Paris. Suitably encouraged by the performance of the mechanism, the team got down to enclosing it in a styrofoam box, known as the main payload, which also packs still and video cameras plus radio and GPS tracking kit. With the main payload and Vulture 1 good to go, the Paris experts gathered in Spain for final preparation in anticipation of launch day, much to the delight of bemused locals. The chosen launch site was a mountain pass, much favoured by paragliders, close to the town of Piedrahita, some 37 miles west of provincial capital Avila and 112 miles west of Madrid. Early on the morning of 28th of October, the moment finally arrived to put 2 years of preparation to the test. With able local assistance, the Paris team filled a latex meteorological balloon with 8 cubic meters of helium, while our Playmonaut calmly went through his pre-flight checklist. With the balloon fully filled and tied off, it just remained to let Paris go. As Paris continued her ascent, ground tracking showed the balloon was carrying the Vulture 1 eastwards towards Madrid. During the pursuit, radio man Steve Daniels tracked the main payload, which, after 2 hours, came down in woodland 30 miles west of the capital. After checking the GPS coordinates, a short trek led to the payload, rather handily hanging from a tree. All well and good, but where was the Vulture 1? Back at the pursuit vehicle, a faint signal from the onboard radio tracker suggested it was within a couple of miles, and after a further yomp, the Paris team was reunited with its aircraft, which had incredibly guided to Earth virtually unscathed. At this point, it would have been nice to retire to the pub where Paris was born for a few celebratory pints, but within a few days the international press got hold of the story.
Really pleased. I knew we'd be able to get some stuff up into space, but I was quite surprised that we managed to track it and find both the plane and the payload with the cameras on it afterwards.
NASA eat your heart out, declared one UK national paper, as others hailed our heroic planemonaut and the rebirth of the British space programme. In the end, it was left to parish head honcho Lester Haynes to summarise to Spanish TV just what drives audacious Brit spaceplane missions.
Combustible para ingleses, cerveza siempre, imprescindible.